right. Hello, everybody. Hello. Luca Apparitions Armagus. Welcome back to, for the last time for a little bit, but maybe about a month, a little over a month, Rose Guns Days. Last time the Wandering Dogs did it! They rescued Zell's father! Woo! Hello, Guppy Force. Welcome to the stream. Now all that remains to see is what Rose's deal, what sacrifice she's gonna make with WangYuanhong. Now, what she said was that she's gonna give in to what his demands, but I don't know, is it gonna be that simple? We're just gonna have to see what happens. The Wandering Dog story is basically over, which makes me super sad because I love them so fucking much. And they're probably not going to be a big focus in the next arc. But god damn it, I really love those characters. Really, like, MVPs of Rose Gun Days, without a doubt. I could watch them having their own fucking adventures forever. I don't know what it is, seriously. I love him. I fucking love him. And I'm gonna be really sad to see them not be the major focus of the story anymore. Let's get back into it. Dessert finished at Rose's table, and an after-meal coffee began. Conversations had died down, and a comfortable silence was approaching. At Wong's signal, a waiter brought a folder forward. Folders of blackened leather like that were usually used to hold sales slips. Oh, yeah. Like, you know, when you go to a restaurant and you ask for the bill or the check, and they bring it into you one of those. Wong took it, opened it up, and held a piece of paper that was inside it out to Rose.
Shall we get down to business?
Yes. Let's.
I've been waiting so long. I feel like I'm gonna yawn.
Oh, it is almost bedtime for kids, isn't it?
What you say? This is a summary of our position in writing. If you sign it, then the friendship between the GDS and Primavera will become eternal.
And if I don't?
And then you will lose our protection. What do you mean, protection?
Oh, come now, you're in the Mafia. Surely you know what that means. We could kill you, but we let you go. See how affectionate that is.
It would be possible to avoid such sluggish methods and resolve this with total war. We could steal everything away from you. But we don't. Why do you think that is?
Because war is futile for both sides, even if you do take everything away from us. Then the victor would also be impoverished. That is why Wong does not want to start a war, even though he could win.
Exactly! So why is it that war hasn't disappeared from this world? The answer is simple. Because both sides claim they can win and don't back down. They need to fight in order to prove their claims. However, only one side wins. That means the loser was guilty of a huge misunderstanding. That's why I used a method other than war to demonstrate our overwhelming difference in power and correct that little misunderstanding.
Hello, T. Welcome to the stream.
Can you think of a more peaceful form of negotiation, Madam Rose?
It's true. You displayed your power in a way that didn't take any lives. I think the wave of economic warfare that began with soy sauce distribution was a truly gentlemanly act. However, this is still war. Even though there were no shells flying, it was war.
Indeed. The war of the new age where people don't die.
Then the waiters carried in 2 phones. They set one each in front of Wang and Rose. It was as though they were laying out the main dish for the night.
Will you sign these papers or not? That will determine how we both use these phones. We might happily confirm each other's friendship. In which case I will tell the Council of Elders that negotiations were completed successfully. Or I might tell them to release the economic attack against C-23 we've been saving, to be carried out by the merchants among our countrymen.
Then what about my phone?
You might tell Richard right away whether you formed eternal bonds of friendship with the GDS.
Or
you might tell him that the sale will continue forever, allowing your Japanese countrymen to buy things for incredibly cheap prices going forward.
they were props to force Rose to make a decision on the spot. Would she sign or would she not? Would she surrender to the GDS or not? It was a threat, since whenever she showed what her decision was, the corresponding actions would be taken immediately. The waiter handed Rose an expensive fountain pen. Handover of the special offers windows, and the dissolution of the Japanese labor union. It was a humiliating document, which simply required that she accept the GDS's demands. That was what she was being asked to sign. Quietly, Rose read the document again. Wang's position was written in both Japanese and Chinese. There was no trace of her hesitating over whether or not to sign it. She seemed to be carefully inspecting the vital document to make absolutely sure there were no unexpected mistakes.
I understand that signing this will be humiliating to you. There may be people in Primavera who don't accept it. If you're looking for a good way to convince them, then I have a proposal.
A proposal?
I'll tell you if you sign it. If you sign it, then we'll be friends. Bosom buddies, pals, chums. If we're friends, then we won't be able to embarrass each other. It will be my responsibility to work hard and see to it that your honor is protected.
At that moment, the final performance of the Wandering Cats ended, and a big applause rang out.
Join with me, Madam Rose. Join with me. No, you must sign it. With me, and with little May. Oh, and with Wayne too, of course. If we join hands, it won't be impossible to obtain the eastern half of Tokyo, and eventually all of it. Please be forward-thinking. Oh, pardon me for a moment.
Oh my fucking god. What? I could have just gone a tiny bit further. I can't believe that. Wang rose from his seat. Then he went up onto the stage that was receiving warm applause and congratulated the band on their superb performance. That's true, Guppy Force. That's true.
That was wonderful! All of you!
And he's saying in Chinese,
What a wonderful performance. Thank you, thank you.
Dear, and he's saying, thank you, Guppy Force, again.
Dear guests, please give this evening's performance another warm round of applause.
And Zal says, thank you so much. It was an honor to be able to perform here.
We did it. Now I say we get the fuck out of Dodge.
I never imagined it'd go this smoothly.
We're gonna get paid a lot for tonight, aren't we? Let's buy a mountain of Nikuman and have a party tonight. Still, your singing is not only skillful, but really youthful and beautiful as well.
I am happy to hear that, Mr. Wong, even if it is flattery.
Flattery? Not at all. I never praise anything I don't want.
Yuck. You are the creepiest son of a bitch. I'm glad to hear it. Oliver, help. Thank you so much for inviting us here today.
You're probably going to be in high demand for a while, but don't you ever feel uncertain about what will happen later?
She's an assassin. I hope she kills him. I'm not sure. Oh no. Wong held her shoulder in a familiar manner. Zell got it at once. Oh, yuck! Oh god, you are the scum of the earth. Ugh. I'm gonna fucking throw up. He was inviting her to become his mistress.
If you'll join with me, I can make you the best singer in Tokyo.
Oh god. How about you take a fucking seat, Wong? Jesus Christ.
That's not all. I could even show you an executive world that no Japanese person could reach, no matter how hard they worked. As long as you're okay with it, I could even show you that dream starting tonight.
I need an adult.
I am an adult.
No! Wong's fingers pushed through her long hair, tickling her neck, and he drew closer as though about to touch her ear with his lips. Oliver. Fucking roundhouse this guy into next week. At that moment, his finger suddenly stopped. Oh no! Oh no! He's gonna see your tattoo. Oh no.
That's quite an old tattoo you have there.
Fucking murder him. Murder him! There was a fierce gap between Zell's nude appearance and that disturbing butterfly tattoo. Apparently even Wang was taken aback. Uh-oh, spaghettios.
Sorry to bother you.
No, we have to get the fuck out of here. The two of them smiled awkwardly. Wang gave an awkward apology, removed his hand from Zell, and slowly walked away. When Wang tried to leave the stage, he must have been absent-minded since he stumbled and almost fell over. Oh my god! In that instant, Zell leapt forward and grabbed his fucking arm. She didn't grab his arm because he thought he was in danger. She pulled his arm behind his back as far as it would go. Woo! Woo! At some point, she had pulled out a gun and was now pressing its tip to the back of Wang's head. Oh! Yes! Oh my god! No, how about you take a seat? If you move, I shoot. Playtime is over, lover boy. Oh, she just said the same thing in Chinese. Thank you, Guppy Force.
None of you move.
Just our luck to get found out after coming this far. But this way our shooting lessons won't go to waste. The instant her tattoo was seen, Cell realized that her identity had been discovered. She hadn't already pinned Wang down. Their fates would probably have been settled by now. Hello, James. Welcome to the stream. Wang had noticed. He had noticed that Zell was Hoda Ruby, and once he'd taken a few more steps away, he was planning to give an order to have them captured. Zell's animal instincts had been spot on just in time, and she'd made the first move.
The tattoo reminded me. So you're Hoda Ruby from the rumors.
Several women let out short, shrill screams, but the restaurant remained quiet. In front of the stage, Zell was holding Wang down and pointing a gun at him. And surrounding them, pointing guns in all directions, were the wandering dogs. Oh, yes! Oh my god, this is fucking amazing! Woo! The guards throughout the restaurant silently pulled out their guns in a manner fitting for an executive restaurant that wouldn't cause a ruckus, and pointed the barrels at them from all sides. Oh my god! This is taking a turn I did not expect.
I heard that you used your frailty and beauty to drawing your target like a moth drawn to a light.
Yeah, that's what someone like you would say.
But this is incredible. So even I almost became a moth to be invited into a bed of spiderwebs.
Aren't you the one who started inviting people to bed? It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Wang. I hear you've been taking good care of my father.
I see. So you came here to rescue dear old Daddy. Such a brave little girl. It's true that he's being held in a room upstairs, but in fact you can't unlock this room with just a key. You see, there's this special device.
Special device? Oh no! Oh. Damn it! I would have freaking let him egg him on. There's no need to worry. We've already finished rescuing him.
What? When did you?
It seems your prized device has grown a bit too famous. Yes!
That's insane. You shouldn't have had any chance to steal the key from me. And there's the clocks chiming, and the guards. My device should have been perfect.
Please be quiet, Mr. Wang.
Oh! Calm down, calm down, calm down! By the way, shooting me won't change anything. If you shoot me, you'll be riddled with holes in an instant.
We gotta get out of the restaurant somehow, while using him as a hostage. My, how the turns have tabled.
Make way. Put down your guns. Don't you care if your boss dies?
You can't tell them in Japanese. Gotta say it in Chinese.
What are you people standing around for?
Oh, Wayne was almost unable to stop himself from yelling out loud. Even if they had guns pointed at the enemy's boss, the situation was overwhelmingly bad. I was not expecting this, but I am loving it. See, now take notes, other writers. This is how you subvert expectations. Not taking something that is leading to something cool and replacing it with something lame and quote unquote realistic. You take something that, you know, you're leading to that like might seem inevitable, but then replace it with something else that totally makes sense, that's way more badass. Seriously. Even if they had guns pointed at the enemy's boss, their situation was overwhelmingly bad. Instead of standing around, they needed to fight for every second of time and escape. If the difference of guns on each side grew to be overwhelming, this balance would quickly fall apart. The GDS side understood this as well. So they weren't at all timid about having a hostage taken. They pointed their guns without backing off in the slightest, quietly continuing to apply pressure.
These guys aren't scared at all.
Oh, I mean realistic in a lame way. Like, making something boring happen in the story just because, quote unquote, it's realistic. I'm not talking about realism in general, but like when a story goes a certain way just because it's more realistic to like have something lame happen than have something cool happen, even though it serves no purpose but to surprise the audience rather than be something that people would actually enjoy. Crap! My instincts are never wrong at times like this. He looks so cool like this. I don't want to ask, but just what sort of instinct is that? Yes, I don't want to ask either. Oh, crap. Same here. On the inside, Zell was panicking considerably as well. She couldn't deny that she had let her guard down after succeeding in the rescue. She was an assassin, not a gunman. She wasn't Leo Shishigami or Ueno Udera. Hello, Jess! Welcome to the stream. During this time, Wong's subordinates poured in for the entrance and the back door. The guards inside have been kept to a minimum to avoid tarnishing the restaurant's elegance. However, Wang had invited over the head of an enemy organization after all. A sufficient number of troops had been waiting outside the restaurant. They had enough people to counter Primavera's fighting force if it poured in here. Those people had heard about this emergency and poured in one after another, as long as they don't have a sniper on their side. The guests were all guided outside, and soon the main hall was clambering with members of the GDS. Just the one standing in the main... Oh wow, a lot of typos in this final part. In the main hall, in a circle around the stage numbered in the dozens. Dozens more grim-faced men could be seen lining the overhanging corridors along the open area, pointing machine guns downwards. Countless gun barrels, gun barrels, gun barrels. Before you knew it, the main hall had transformed into a bizarre space that could easily be considered the stomach of a massive dragon.
Is this Primavera's answer, Madam Rose? I knew you called yourself a leader of ladies of the evening, but I think you could even win Arthur Ruby over. I see. She wanted her to kill me in my sleep, in exchange for setting up a plan to rescue her father.
God, Wong, just shut up. You're smart, but not that smart. You're completely off base.
Is that what the plan was?
Madame Rose has nothing to do with this.
You must understand that I'm old. Would you mind being a bit more gentle?
Stop it. I bet you weren't gentle with other girls. You said the same things too.
Could you at least let me sit down? I don't mind if you keep the gun pointed at me.
Don't give him anything he wants. Could I ask you to quiet down a little? Zal, let me ask as well. Madame Rose. Right now, Wang-san and I are in the middle of a very important meeting. So could I ask you to return him to this seat? Really? Just like that?
What will we do?
If she says so, then we can't disobey. The four of them took Wang, slowly went down from the stage and headed towards Wang's seat. Then, just as he'd asked, they sat him down, guns still pointed at him.
Thank you, Rose-chan. That was a big help.
You're welcome.
So, shall I take this to be our answer? Let me warn you, if I don't make any phone calls to my subordinates, the plan is for them to take appropriate action immediately. I may not look it, but I am the man known as the Blue Dragon Wong.
And why is the dragon on your lapel red?
I hope you understand I'm not the sort of man who could be threatened with a gun to make a phone call against his will.
The many guns were focused not on just the wandering dogs, but on Rose and Wayne as well. However, those two were also cool and dignified. Even though they were at the end of a gun barrel, just like Wong, they remained calm. Mr. Wong, this is Primavera's answer. Rose picked up her wine glass and tilted it. What's going on? Oh, like a boss. Woo! The ruby-colored wine spilled out, stating the document she was being asked to sign read. Wang was stunned for a while, then grinned daringly. Meiju let out a chuckle, as though unable to hold it in any longer.
I'm sorry, but I knew this was going to happen the whole time, and I was just waiting to see the look on your face. Now there's an interesting answer.
Sorry. Damn.
So then, let the war begin!
Wang suddenly sat up, grabbed the receiver, and dialed in a number. Sorry. Got caught up in my fucking throat.
It's me. I think Primavera would prefer the old-fashioned style of war. Gather all troops at the Millennium.
Oh my god.
All of them. All of them!
When he set the receiver down, the clocks all began chiming 9 p.m.
Perfect! What a perfect time for the clocks to chime. We'll finish things exactly 1 hour from now.
Interesting.
The next time the clocks chime, you really will sign these documents. No, I guarantee you'll be in a situation when you'll be forced to sign.
9 p.m. WangYuanhong gave the order for all his troops to gather at the Millennium. If the feud could be likened to a game of chess or shogi, then it's beginning with an incredibly odd layout. After all, the two kings, who were usually protected in the deepest parts of their formations, were glaring right at each other head-on right from the start. If this had been a feud against the tyrant Caleb, a gunfight would probably have broken out in the place at once. I'm guessing since the first boss was Japanese and the second boss was Chinese, I'm guessing the third boss will probably be American. I'm just noticing this pattern now. Given that we've barely seen anything of Butler. However, Wang was different. He was a merchant and he would prefer not to dirty his hands. You know, his castle with blood. One after another, cars put into the area surrounding the Millennium. They'd all been waiting nearby, ready for something like this to happen. And just like in Primavera, Wang's underlings were all fierce fighters who had made it through difficult battles. However, they're still members of the fucking generic Mook Society, so it don't matter. Also, they prepared for all contingencies, carrying out more than enough drills to account for the need to quickly strengthen the guard around Wang's castle. They're saying a bunch of things in Chinese that I don't know.
All designated locations have been blockaded as per the plan. Primavera may try to force a truck through. Even still, you must hold the line.
Just saying what the guards there were saying.
Report to the headquarters. It looks like tonight is going to be quite lively.
Alleys were efficiently blocked with vehicles. In an instant, Wang's castle was becoming a fortress. It was a rapid response, occurring within a few minutes of when Wang sat down the receiver. Reinforcements arrived one after another, and their military force grew and grew. Trucks filled with heavy equipment such as machine guns also arrived, and weapons were handed out to the troops who had come in as reinforcements. All of this happened in a flash. The efficiency was terrifying.
Honored brother, everything is in place. By now no one can take this castle. Madam Rose, this is my first move. I've strengthened my defense and surrounded you, the king, at the same time. The only problem is a single needle on the inside.
Wang favored Zell and the others, who were pointing guns at him with a confident smile. Hello, Mystery Theater, welcome to the stream.
The only strategy you could have used to defeat us was a surprise attack. And since that has already failed, you've lost this game.
So, are you done? Are you finished with your first move? Because I really know you like to hear yourself talk.
I guess that means it's your turn next, doesn't it? Assuming you have any moves left, that is.
This time, Rose reached out to her phone receiver. Now it's time for Primavera's plan. It's me. Please do it. After saying just that, she set down the receiver. Then she smiled calmly, indicating that her move was over. Wayne couldn't help but groan. The Rose he adored had become so resilient. Yeah, I'm gaslight gatekeep girl boss now, bitch. Meiju-san? Could I ask for 4 chairs?
Understood. And I'm assuming he's just saying, bring 4 chairs, please. We're gonna play musical chairs.
Zal and the rest of you must be tired too. Have a seat. Despite being in the middle of the maelstrom for a fight scene. Yeah, that is what he said. Thank you, Guppy Force. With so many gun barrels pointing at her, Madame Rose smiled considerately. Unable to ignore the courage and guts on a whole different level emanating from that smile, Zell and the others gulped reflexively. What? You don't need to point those guns anymore. You did your part really well. Now let Mommy Rose take care of business. The feud between Primavera and the GDS will be settled entirely on this table.
What do we do, Zell? Put your guns away. This is Madame Rose's fight now. Don't get in the way.
Wayne-san! Yes, boss. Everyone. Like they said, we don't need the guns anymore.
Got it. Oh boy.
The wandering dogs put their guns away, but the GDS didn't. Surrounded by this overwhelming air of intimidation, the 4 of them sat in chairs that had been set up behind Wayne.
Well then. Let's just relax while we wait to see how Roshan's move goes.
Oh, I don't think it'll take long.
Oh? Then until then, let's chat a little. I want you to tell me something.
What's that?
You're a woman who picks fights she can win. Madame Rose may not look it, but she is a woman capable of extremely cool calculation. Also, she's braver than anyone, and she doesn't hesitate to get her own hands dirty. Yes, she is brave. And we know that when she challenged Caleb to a fight, she prepared quite carefully, increasing her chances of victory. That's why I don't understand! No matter how you calculate it, you couldn't find a formula that ended with you being able to beat us in a war!
Wang was already building up an expansive simulation. If he were Primavera, cornered in a situation like this, how would he turn the situation around? Turning around an insurmountable economic gap with violence isn't a bad move. Starting a feud is plenty of potential as an option. However, the situation was far too different from what it had been during the feud with the Caleb family. Of course, the GDS wouldn't help them this time, and since the GDS was backed by the Chinese military, Butler and the American military wouldn't be able to help either. It was certainly conceivable that Meiju, a member of the former leader faction, would lend them aid, but he would probably be limited to leaking information. It shouldn't be possible even for Meiju to order his underlings to shoot their countrymen. So at the very worst, it would only mean that information about Wang's troops had been leaked by the former leader faction. Military force, training, arms. No matter how you work the numbers, Primavera had no chance of winning with a frontal assault. Yet Primavera was launching into a war.
I hear that the Japanese sometimes look at recent wars and say this. Even though we knew we would lose, it was a war that had to be fought. Don't tell me that you want to take one final shot, even though you'll lose. Like some traditional Japanese bonsai turds.
Put simply, it's all as you say. We can't expect to win in a fight against the GDS. However, we can make things better.
Bitter?
Do you know why spring vegetables are bitter?
I hate bitter vegetables. Shut up, idiot.
My father told me long ago. When a long winter ends, plants all begin to bud at once. However, when hungry animals awaken from their long hibernation, they try to eat them all up. So spring vegetables, which bud in the spring, make themselves bitter to avoid getting eaten as much as possible. A conflict between Primavera and the GDS wouldn't even be a fight. When faced with the starving dragon that represents you all, you're no more than buds of vegetables that are budding right now.
So they will be eaten just the same. You do not want anyone calling you delicious. There might be more than just bitter. There might be poison inside that makes you foam at the mouth and die. You truly are fools! That war shouldn't have ended prematurely. We shouldn't have ended until we burned all of Japan to the ground.
At that time, the phone in front of Wang rang. However, Wang and Rose continued to silently glare at each other, apparently uninterested in the still ringing phone. Eventually, looking irritated, he signaled at Meiju with his eyes to pick up the phone.
Away.
So, yeah, you answered the phone with "way" in Chinese, yeah. I never understood how to pronounce that NG, which sucks because I've seen that as someone's name. And he's saying,
What a thorny situation. What is it? A surprise attack from Primavera.
9:17 p.m. Members of Primavera poured into a street of storehouses in City 23's Small Rock, Chinatown. If this many of them had come openly into Chinatown, the GDS should have been aware of it. However, they weren't able to notice it. Which meant that all these people had probably been hiding here since the middle of the day. The hidden truck beds and the like, waiting for the signal to start the surprise attack. He's saying,
Ni, you?
like, I know knee is you, but that's the only word in that sentence I know.
Who are you guys? Get out now.
And the other guy said,
They've got guns. Someone help us. But you have to translate that into bullets before you'll understand.
Don't shoot the ones running away. Let's complete a job quickly, capiche?
Yes, boss. Okay, knock the door down. Hey, get the trucks in here. There's no time.
the men flowed into the storehouse. Inside was a massive pile of goods that Wang had been planning to release.
Okay, everyone work quickly, chop chop. We don't know when those scary GDS boys will show up.
Come on, carry these out. Spread it all around.
One after another, kerosene cans were unloaded from the trucks they'd brought near. Yep. Scorched earth strategy, yep. The men took those and spread the kerosene over the mountains of goods, one after another. The area was rapidly filled with a dangerous stench.
Primavera is an establishment for nighttime parties. So we better show them one hell of a night. Here's a Primavera style greeting.
At the same time, flames rose along several storehouse streets in City 23. They had investigated all the storehouses where Wang stored his goods. And this didn't just include City 23, but City 22 as well.
Time to go. I got a freaking section.
Generic book society for Rose, go!
Here's Primavera's famous lead pasta. It's on the house. Don't worry about making a scene. Show them what we really are.
And they're saying some stuff. Oh, some defense.
Defending against Tokanoki is impossible.
He was saying,
An attack even in C22, what are these punks thinking? It's an attack by Primavera. Contact Honor Brother Wang now!
is what the other guy said.
What are you standing around for? Get us back up quickly. Can't you get in touch with them? But today, all our bosses and comrades are gathered at the Millennium.
Wang had gathered all the military force he had at the Millennium. It was only natural. After all, he and Rose, the two kings, were both gathered there. Damn, this song reminds me of GoldenEye 007. Like, you just heard the James Bond melody right there, right? Da, 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 da. So everywhere else was undermanned. None of Wang's bases has enough military force. go.
Give it up for the generic Mook Society!
Damn. There we go.
Just keep him pinned down as best you can. Engineers, bring in the might.
We'll give him some extra large fireworks. Dynamite? They're gonna blow this place up! Run, run, run! We can't do anything here now.
And now Wang is going to be considered a failure by his elders because he cost them so much damage. He might quote unquote win, but it'll be a Pyrrhic victory for sure. Even if he does. And thus he won't impress his bosses at all. He would have probably lost more money overall than he would have made. In City 22 storehouse streets, explosions went off one after another, shooting out fire and smoke. The city was wrapped in confusion, and the sirens of emergency vehicles rang out. Cyrus and the others walked calmly through raging fires of the storehouse streets, which were lit by the fierce flames.
Now that's a showy fire. Still, all that miso and soy sauce. Can't get enough of that roasted smell. Woo!
Many Japanese ingredients in the storehouses were burning. The smell of burning miso and soy sauce unconsciously made their faces relax.
It's done, boss. This'll make a great signal fire for him. So, Pearl Harbor over again, eh? Afraid y'all gonna break stuff like crazy while thinking of the consequences. Oh boy.
I've heard word from Jamestown. He says everything there succeeded.
Ah, good work. Never thought a Jane would screw up. Let's pull out. We might go head to head with the GDS, but the Chinese military's bad news. This ain't daytime war. It's war in the underworld.
The men got into cars, one after another. Carefully planned simultaneous strikes had burned all of Wang's storehouses under 15 minutes. Dang, diggity dang dang. Cyrus was about to get into a car, but then he looked up as they were reluctant to go. Crimson flames scorched the night sky. It was a scene that brought nothing to mind but war.
Madam Rose and Richard taking one hell of a gamble. Still, can't say I dislike the picture you're drawing.
The leader of the enemy force appears to be none other than Grand Boss Cyrus Samura himself.
Incredible. The Grand Boss came out personally.
Take that! That's what you get for cheating soy sauce!
The city must be in such a state, filled with the smell of burnt soy sauce.
I'll bet it smells great. I'm getting hungry.
I didn't expect you to set it all aflame. I'm impressed.
This attack is all we've got. It's humbling that a fire attack is all we can manage.
You people really haven't progressed at all since the sneak attack on Pearl Harbor, have you?
Affairs between nations are one thing. But is that a concern for residents of the underworld like us?
Oh?
Oh, you're being cross now.
Don't take us lightly, GDS. Who do you think this is? This is Primavera's Madam fucking Rose. The one who raided the Caleb family and personally took the top spot in City fucking 23. If you want to have a go, we prefer to lose your own lives.
Rose was a monarch of the underworld. Her expression was always filled with affection. When she went by the name of Madam, she finally wore an expression fitting for such a monarch. Though she seemed to be smiling and harmonious, you could see the strength of her conviction in her eyes, and fearsome way she was able to sacrifice anything. Even Wang had been through his share of rough spots, so he was able to comprehend the resolve behind that fearsomeness and couldn't help but falter. If we and the GDS fight head-on, the result would be clearer than looking at fire. We cannot fight the GDS on an even footing. However, we can at least attack storehouses.
We learned from Caleb. If you're only gonna attack, then you can do it with just 7 people. But to defend, even 100 times that many won't be enough.
I see. So even the almighty GDS can't block all attacks.
But the scene goes in reverse. We are gonna get such a pounding. Primavera can't prevent the GDS's counterattack.
The GDS won't just sit around and watch. They'll definitely take revenge. And quickly. Even the GDS can't defend. So what'll Primavera do?
Nothing! They can do nothing but burn in the flames of retribution! Look at what you've done! I expect to prepare for the consequences!
Normally, feuds don't often break out, even between bloodthirsty members of the underworld, because they know that. While it's easy for them to hurt people, it's extremely difficult to protect themselves.
In that case, I'll give you the ending you want as a present! Are you happy now, Madam Rose?
One moment Wang was laughing loudly, and the next he was violently grabbing at the receiver, his face contorted like a demon. In a feud, the GES would be stronger. They had been using that as a basis for negotiations, but now it was time to prove it.
It's me, WangYuanhong. Sorry, but I need your help right now.
It's nothing too difficult. I just need you to teach the poor, foolish Japanese a lesson.
Wang made one phone call after another. He seemed to be speaking with an incredibly moderate tone, but every now and then his short temper peeked through. However, Wang was a very high-ranking member of the GS. He was also a representative of the council faction. With just a few phone calls, he could mobilize enough of a force to overwhelm Primavera. At the end, he made a phone call to explain the situation to the Council of Elders, which he served. No matter how much force he mobilized, he mustn't declare war without consulting the Elders.
There is no need to worry. Tell everyone that there have been no problems if they leave it to their WangYuanhong. We have nothing to lose if Primavera is destroyed. On the contrary, if there is any trouble, it'll come from having to explain the disturbance to the occupying forces. Yes, leave it to me. Convincing them is what I'm best at. Yes. Right. Thank you very much, Elder. In that case, I will declare war on them. What did he say?
It sounds like he got permission to start a war from his superior. He single burned City 23 to the ground!
If he does that, won't the American military in City 23 and the Chinese military in City 22 get involved?
This is World War III starting.
Sorry to keep you waiting. How much time is left now?
It was 9:44 p.m. 16 minutes until the 10 o'clock chime, the time which Wang had announced he would make Madame Rose surrender at.
15 minutes and 25 seconds left. In other words, I've ordered all the bars to open hostilities at exactly 10 p.m. In other words, these 15 or so minutes will be my final notice to you. We intend to see this fight you've started through to the end. Tonight's disturbance reached their ears as well. They were all livid. And we know the locations of the bases for every crew under your umbrella. Starting with Club Primavera. Of course, we also know the gloomy bars where the wild dogs of that Mr. Wayne over there hang out. I've ordered them to burn all those to the ground, or blow them up. Many ordinary townspeople will be caught up in the process, but all of that will be your responsibility.
And in the same way, the disturbances in City 23-2 tonight will be your responsibility. That sound in the background is the cat, by the way, so don't worry.
And I thought you were a person who didn't pick fights he couldn't win. You've disappointed me.
I think it's best to always be simple. I've never changed that outlook.
It is true that Rose-san is a simple person. A fearsomely pure person who will rush madly forward for no reason other than to make that future better for her countrymen. Then why are you taking hostile action against me? Our military force is many times yours, as is our economic scale. You have everything to gain by pleasing me, and nothing to lose. The Japanese city folk would be guaranteed a more enriched lifestyle thanks to my extra cheap goods. And you've rejected that because of your own personal ideology. The enriched lifestyles of the people have been sacrificed for your own xenophobia-based claims. You say this will form a better future for your Japanese countrymen. That's a lie! You're nothing more than a dictator, sacrificing the lifestyles of a countryman for your own ideology.
If I join with you, it is indeed possible that the people's lifestyles would be enriched. However, you use the distribution that supports your lifestyles as a weapon to get your way. Normally, distribution and business transactions aren't based on money alone. There needs to be a relationship of mutual trust as well. You use that as a weapon. From that point onwards, that trust, the heart of the distribution you offered, died. The enriched lifestyle you propose would be a dead enrichment without trust. A fake enrichment, like painting a dead tree green. An enriched lifestyle is based on relationships of mutual trust. The enriched lifestyles you proposed, which ignored this fact, were nothing more than threats, acts of intimidation!
Isn't the responsibility of one who guides our countrymen to choose the option that's most practically profitable, despite all that?
Right now, if we surrendered for the sake of the enriched lifestyles that lay before our eyes, it would be the same as selling our futures. Wang could probably guarantee enriched lifestyles for City 23, as long as it was obedient to him. However, he would probably put the screws on distribution over and over, every time he needed to make a demand. They would have to accept these unreasonable demands constantly, in exchange for their enriched lifestyles. He would basically own them. However, as long as they contented themselves with that fact, this enrichment would be guaranteed. The cost wouldn't matter to them, because they'd be getting no less than what the people from now had asked for. Okay, Apparition, good night. Have a good sleep. Thank you so much for all you've done. Have a good sleep. It would be a decision their own people had made, after calculating profit and loss for themselves, so they would probably learn to live with it. However, there's no way our future children would accept it, after inheriting the decision we made regardless of their own will. The thought of surrender is only sweet to those of us living now, because if we just bow once, we can be freed from fighting. However, our children will be forced to be subservient to you forever, through no fault of their own. They'll be like that forever and ever, without ever being given a chance to choose. That's why I decided to choose our future countrymen over the now.
Your future countrymen.
The thing I'll pass on to the future isn't a humiliating decision we made for our own reasons and for the sake of the enrichment in front of us. What I want to pass on to the future is the right to make that decision. Damn. Wow. Whoa. That's incredible.
I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
It's self-determination of peoples, bitch. It's the right to decide their own fate, their lives and lifestyles for themselves. It won't affect just our lifestyles now, but those of all our children in the future. Think of how precious that right is, and how terrifying it would be to lose it. If we sold that precious right to you, our future children would scorn us forever. It's a right we must protect, even if it means sacrificing enriched lifestyles for those of us living now. Rose, the fucking anti-boomer. Holy shit. That's the one thing I want to pass on to our future countrymen. That is Primavera! Even after I die, as long as Primavera exists, it'll be able to speak for our weak countrymen! I'm sure that the future Primavera will pave the way to something suitable for the new era! Most likely, almost everyone present was incapable of understanding how precious this right of self-determination of peoples was. However, Zell alone understood. And she felt a heroic resolve that brought tears to her eyes. A resolve to protect that right, no matter how much she had to dirty her own hands. We won't surrender! We won't sell away the future of our children for the peace and enrichment placed in front of us! For those children! For Zell! For Oliver! For Charles! For Nina! They will decide their own future! Did you think I would let a decision made in the musty age of 1948 sell away the future of our children in the year 2000 and onwards? Holy fuckaroonies. Wow. Dang. Holy shit. Wow, that... I have some enormous respect for Rose. Diggity dang dang. To Wang, this conflict existed only to force his opponents to sign those documents. However, to Rose, this was a fight to protect her future countrymen's right to self-determination. So the attitudes the two felt towards this conflict were far too different. Wang was planning on a commercial conflict where gain and loss were clear, so he wouldn't fight in a way that led to loss. However, Rose was different. She was prepared to abandon everything in the now for the sake of the future. And so the common sense of her way of fighting overturned every part of Wang's sense. Suddenly the phone in front of Wang rang. Meiju took it, then after an exchange of words in English, he handed the receiver to Wang.
What is it? Who's it from?
Oh my god!
It's Don Castiglione himself from the Castiglione family.
Don Castiglione? Why is he calling me?
The Castiglione family, a ferocious Italian-American group that controlled City 7, which was once Sumida City. This was a Japan-based branch of a huge family on the American mainland, and the main group was an orthodox mafia, which remained faithful to its long history and secret oaths even into modern times.
Hey, it's been far too long, Mr. Wang. I hear you've started playing quite an interesting game, have you not? Will it be Noir or Rouge? Well, no matter how it goes down, I imagine you'll be the one on top. Still, I find no pleasure in betting on a sure thing.
Don Castiglione, I don't understand you.
So, the Castiglione family decided to place its bet on Madame Rose. My daughter, my precious Beachy, she seemed to side with Rose. So I followed her decision.
Ridiculous. Why?
That's a stupid question, mister. I'm Italian. Do you really need me to explain what I'd be about an honest, beautiful girl instead of a fat, corrupt merchant?
Impossible. It was impossible that the Castiglione family would take Primavera's side. Even they couldn't want a hostile relationship with the GDS. They had nothing to gain. Why would they look at a feud they should obviously handle with a wait-and-see attitude? Instead choose to support Primavera's side.
I'm handing the phone over. He wants to talk to you too.
Hey!
I don't know who this is. I've taken the phone. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Wang. Oh.
I'm Silvio Orlando, consigliere to the Orlando brothers family.
And now it's the consigliere of the Orlando brothers.
City 21, which was once Adachi City. Oh, damn. Adachi's got his own city now. Oh, God. Bordered City 22 to the northwest. The force controlling it was the Orlando brothers family. It was the craziest new force in the west coast of America, which had been built up in a single generation by the Orlando brothers. It had no history at all, but it reveled in its position as the most brutal and ruthless, and was made up of the best fighters who had survived the fierce European theater.
Now, though I apologize for our rudeness, I must report that Orlando Brothers have decided to welcome Miss Rose Ibarra as a new friend. If anything were to happen to Miss Ibarra's person, we Orlando Brothers have her to stand by her, even in the depths of hell. Got it?
Why, Rose, and not me? How could she guarantee you more profit than me? How?
Wong gripped the receiver and glared into Rose's eyes. However, Rose just calmly and boldly glared back. His advanced information had told him that Primavera was making preparations to sell the special offers windows. Ah, damn, diggity dang dang. He had been sure they were planning to surrender the GDS and hand them over, but it couldn't be. It couldn't be that this woman.
So tell me, you sold the special offers windows?
Some of the special offers windows. And harbor rights related to smuggling. As well as several other underworld privileges that were possible to sell. You know, yada yada ipso fatso. We also disbanded the Japanese labor union and secured the income source provided by the special offers windows. Damn, they really had to do that. Just like everyone else.
You went that far. Ah!
Oh no. Just to win this feud, Madame Rose had sold off so much.
The Orlando Brothers and Don Castiglione have decided that supporting Primavera would be more profitable than supporting you.
Madame Rose is insane. These people willing to go so far to win. Are you willing to sell off everything you have in the now to win?
What value is there in the now? If you can sell the now to buy the future, then I'll sell all I've got. We're just one link in the chain that ties our culture to the future. We believe that as people tasked with bearing children, raising them, and handing our future over to them, this is the right way to live!
Let me hand the receiver over to yet another friend we have. Here you go, mister.
I don't know who this is. Hey there, Yuanhong. Never thought I'd end up talking to you again. His voice was speaking Japanese. However, Wong hadn't forgot that threatening tone.
You're supposed to be dead.
It's Caleb! Oh my god!
Fool. Did you think I'd be finished off by a little girl's bullet? Don't take me so lightly. You really are a fool. That woman in front of you. She's the one who defeated me and took my family away. Let me introduce myself again. I'm Keireiji Sohei of Wakachigasa Hosa of the Boso Satomi Alliance. President Satomi is at the ending of this case entirely in my hands.
Okay. I was really worried that he wasn't gonna do anything. But I am so glad now that there's a purpose to him living.
Treat everything I say as though it came from that sly old man. If you plan on shooting it out with that woman, I'll storm in there with 1,000 fully equipped veterans.
Caleb, I thought you were a man of pride. How laughable that a man of your caliber would be wagging his tail for that little girl who defeated him.
Don't mock me. We soldiers. No, it's the same for soldiers in your Chinese military and the American military. We can die because it's for the sake of our children's futures. That's why we can sell off the now of our own lives. Don't take us lightly, you merchant bastard! Why don't you go cower in a corner, trying to kill Glenda but will catch my life is worth?
This is Primavera's answer, Mr. Wong. Oh, That was Richard.
This is Primavera's answer, Mr. Wong.
Richard.
Oh, no, this isn't just Primavera's answer. It's the answer from all our countrymen who will have kids, raise them, and hand them the future. Those of us in this era will take responsibility for this era. But we won't let you ruin the future for our kids.
Dang. If only the people of our world thought this way.
For Yuji and the others. It isn't permissible for our selfish decisions to throw away their rights in the future.
Yuji, a reminder of Richard's lost younger sister. The child he had loved and raised as his own. Even he was now 2 years old, starting to show signs of his human will. If Richard hadn't been engaged with raising a child, he would certainly have opposed Rose in this. Surely he wouldn't have been able to see anything but the now he was living in. He might have told her to spare the money and play along with Wang's game. However, as a parent with a child, he couldn't help but sympathize with Rose's concern for the future.
It's the right to decide one's fate for oneself. We might give up that right for ourselves, but we won't give it up for the future of our future children.
During that time, Meiji made another phone call to check the situation. As a result, he learned that all the forces in the surrounding cities have formed an alliance with Primavera, for no reason other than to fight the GDS, and in such a short time. For that reason alone, Primavera had spent an incredible amount. Of course, what they got in return was extremely large. They abandoned the wage increases for their countrymen laborers, and sold off various privileges throughout the city. And most importantly, they had refused the enriched lifestyles that Wang was trying to offer them. Their countrymen living in the now would probably criticize Madame Rose's decision. They would probably be remembered as fools who chose pointless chaos and neglected the lifestyles of the city folk. However, their people still had the right to self-determination in the form of Primavera. They had shown their unshakable will, their willingness to exact retribution on anyone who infringed on the rights of their countrymen, even if it meant abandoning all they had. It was that precious. It was that necessary to pay a high price to achieve. It was that important to protect the pride of their future countrymen. Oh, you don't know what he's gonna... Okay. A cornered rat will bite a cat. This proverb, famous even in Japan, originally came from China. It's a famous phrase that appeared in the discourses on salt and iron, written in the BC era. The subject of the quotation, Chen Sheng, was the ringleader of the first farmers' rebellion in recorded history. Farmers were conscripted and dispatched to protect the country's borders, but thanks to bad weather, their chances of making it there by the appointed time grew hopeless. By the law of the day, if they didn't arrive by the appointed time, no matter what the reason, they would all be beheaded. If they're going to be executed anyway, why not choose to leave a name for themselves and die by their own will? The people agreed with Chen Sheng's speech, and in 209 BC, the Wuguang uprising broke out. It was the first rebellion of farmers ever recorded in human history. Part of this verse was passed on to Japan, and became the proverb about a trapped rat biting a cat. When the weak are cornered, they will sometimes strike back in a manner that would be unthinkable by the laws of common sense. No matter how weak a foe is, it's dangerous to corner them too completely. That was the original teaching of the phrase. It was an unwritten rule known by all the residents of the underworld. People with nothing to lose are at their own most dangerous when they abandon their own lives. That's why residents of the underworld try to make peace with each other as much as possible, under the guise of decency and moral codes. It was something that Wang, a merchant, didn't know. He had mistakenly thought that, like in chess or shogi, if you completely corner your opponent with the most practical moves, you will certainly win. He raged and gaped. After flipping through several fierce emotions, Wang stopped with a roar of laughter, as though laughing through tears.
I don't get it. I don't understand. I'm single. I don't understand all this about future for children. Madam Rose, you're single too, aren't you? Not only do you have no kids, but you're not even married. So what do you know about this future for children? How can you possibly know?
Because I'm a woman.
Because you're a woman.
As far back as we can remember, we've been conscious of our heaven-granted role of bearing new life with our bodies. That's why women know, because we've lived a long, long time thinking about it. That's why we know. We know the future is more precious than the now. When we experience love and start planning to give birth to children, we think about it more and more. I guess you didn't get pregnant from Leo. When we do that, we realize that the now is nothing more than a step on the path that leads to the future. In the first place, why are humans born, raised, and then raise children and pass the future to them? I'm not God, so I don't know the answer. In the distant, distant future. Until our future's children make a very, very important decision, it's our mission to pass on what we have. That's what I thought. Until that day, we must pass it on to our future until Siconia. We have to protect our future where our children can do what they want freely. The one thing we must never do is anything in the past that is the now, which will restrict our children's future. So starting now, Primavera will not be an organization that protects its countrymen of the now. It will become an organization that protects the future of our countrymen. Primavera is going to continue accumulating power, so that someday when our children in the future make a very important decision, they'll have that power to help them. Until that day, we will, protect our self-determination of peoples, no matter the cost. With a face that looked tired of laughing, Long leaned far back and looked up at the vast open area above. He had done as he willed with a vast sum of money. He had used it to make several large-scale deals. He had even been proud of his ability to take one of the world's natural laws and do what he pleased with it. This man leaned back, dumbfounded by the blow he received from the scope of Rose's range of vision, and laughed, unable to do anything else.
Honored brother, another phone call. Of course, it's the Council of Elders, right? They want to know I'm gonna get the situation under control, don't they?
He didn't need to pick up the phone. By now, the Council of Elders would be in a frenzy, as if someone had stirred up a hornet's nest. 3 families in neighboring cities had announced their hostility at the same time. Even the GDS couldn't defend against all of them. This happened because you cornered Primavera too far, so figure out a way to take responsibility.
I'm sure it'll something like that. The old people say they know nothing, saw nothing. They were told to blame on the young and play dumb. There's nothing but the now inside them. There isn't even a fragment of the future. I see. So that's how I look to you, little May. Like that, you'd see nothing attractive about my life. After all, I have nothing but a now. There was no future inside of me whatsoever. Honored brother. If only you would realize that a little sooner. It should have been possible to have a future where we walk together to guard our countrymen. It makes me glad to hear you say that. Pardon me. Forget the phone. There's no point in going out of our way to talk. Dealing with those old people who see no future and might kick the bucket at any time just seems so pointless now. Honored brother, even so, I ask that you answer the phone. At the other end of this phone lies the future we must pass on.
Owner, pardon me for the interruption. It's terrible.
The single man who had dashed in rapidly reported something to Wang in a pale face. Wang looked shocked for an instant, but then returned to his calm face. Made you appear to have figured out what had happened without asking. I wonder what happened. Damn, that was a long part right there. Okay, you guys, I'm not stopping yet. I would like to know around how much I have left, but I'm just gonna take a quick bathroom break. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's see what's going to happen now. All right, 9:55 p.m. How much time has passed in the stream? Damn, we're only an hour and a half into the stream. Holy shit. Jeez. Okay. The residence of the late Sons Along, which was the main base of the GDS, had been attacked. That's right, we gotta... It's all about the young master and everything. I'm sure, yeah, now that it looks like they're gonna instate the young master as the leader of the GDS. With a scrupulously prepared plan, an overwhelming force of troops had poured in, taking control in an instant. However, the attackers weren't from Primavera. They were just GDS's own countrymen, yep. The one leading them was a young man, the young lord, yep. To them it was a coup d'etat. To him it was just coming home. We're never gonna get to see the young lord, are we? God damn it. I really want to see what he looked like. Wang guessed the identity of the person at the other end of the phone made you held.
Young lord, it's been a long time.
Oh my god, we do get to see him! Wow. Whoa, he's handsome.
Hello, Yuanhong. It saddens me that our first meeting after so long has to be over a phone.
I think that voice is okay for him.
Not at all. It's truly a delight to have you speak with me at all.
Damn. Woo! I think I'll give him like a bit more mature version of the lion voice because he's very androgynous. Even now and then, yells and gunfire could be heard from the other end of the phone. It was unlike any of the elders would give up gracefully. By settling accounts with the old era with blood, the young hero built a new era. He simply repeated that part of their home country's grand history. Yep. Changing of the dynasties.
Thank you for your taking care of the GDS until now. Because you bore it splendidly, the organization has grown large. It's grown even more resilient than when my father built it up in his youth. That is a result that you and they should be proud of. In my father's place, I promise that the new GDS will contribute more and more to protecting our countrymen in the new era. Young. For the sake of our countrymen's future. Thank you for taking care of the GDS.
Wang understood everything. So I guess hopefully the young lord is going to play more of a role in the third arc, because we just saw his plight for the first time. From the very start, this hadn't been a small skirmish between him and Rose over money in the form of distribution. From the very beginning, this had been their true goal.
I've had the Council of Elders take responsibility for putting the GDS and City 22 in a dangerous situation. I imagine so. None could face this unprecedented danger for the GDS. But you, young lord. Thanks to this failure, the Council faction will be purged and reshuffled. You will immediately reconcile with Primavera, which had been in collusion with Meiju from the beginning, and extinguish this crisis. With your ability, you will make the Board of Directors acknowledge your succession. Splendidly done. A succession so splendid, I wish your father could have seen it.
On this night, the same thing happened with Bashan Bang in City 8.
Bashan Bang?
Again, Wang figured it out right away. Bashan Bang was, as the name indicated, controlled by 8 cunning elders. However, factional infighting between the elders had led to the danger of it splitting in recent years. Concerned over this matter, the young leaders of Bashanbang had joined hands with Sun Zulong, the young lord, and each side had lent its strength to the cause of alternating generations within their respective organizations. Even among the rowdiest members of the GDS, there were few with the courage to stand against the Council of Elders. Even if they were forcibly mobilized, if any of them got scared and turned traitor, the coup d'etat would fail. So he had gotten his military force from Bashanbang. In the same way, Meiju had led his elites to aid in the coup d'etat in Bashanbang. Malkun, the new leader of Bashanbang, and I have already formed an alliance between the new GDS and the new Bashanbang. The alliance between City 22 and City 8, which lie to the north and west of City 23, should apply significant pressure on Primavera. This way, the two fighting forces will regain their balance. That's more than enough reason for Primavera and us to declare a ceasefire.
And in exchange for the fire attacks of this night, Primavera agreed to the demand to disperse the Japanese labor union, with the two accomplishments equaling each other. Magnificent. A splendid plan, young lord.
From the very start, the feud between Wang and Rose had been planned out to the last step, leaving only him out of the loop. Primavera earned its name as a small force from a defeated country, but not one to be taken lightly. The new GDS, faced with the fact that thanks to recent incident, probably try to find a way to coexist without stirring up trouble. This way, finally, Primavera and GDS would be able to form a relationship of mutual awe, holding up the walls of peace. The GDS had made use of the fight with Primavera to purge the council faction. Also, after successfully forming an alliance with the new leader of Bashanbang, one could say that they had become the most powerful force in eastern Tokyo, in practical terms. Faced with such a massive force, the Castiglione family and the Orlando brothers would probably return to their formal neutral positions. Damn, they've got everything squared away with both the Chinese and American Italian mafias. Who could the third boss be then? It's gotta be the Americans. Or the military or something. Those two families and the Satomi Alliance had gained from the deal, in the form of the several privileges Rose had released to them. They would probably withdraw from the stage for now, without causing any more trouble. In exchange, Primavera had sacrificed a lot. Dispersed this Japanese labor union, turned labor wages to what they once were, and brought back the old low wages. Ooh, that sucks. But they brought peace, at least. Thanks to the GDS, distribution from Chinatown would be restricted to a degree to avoid provoking Japanese merchants. For that reason, City 23 would see the distribution it received lessen, and prices would probably be forced to rise somewhat. And there was the brief of passionate soy sauce fever among the Japanese. Primavera, which had burned the storehouses containing soy sauce, would almost certainly fail to receive the public's sympathy. The people spread the word. Madame Rose is a scoundrel. She interfered with the sale of cheap soy sauce, which was getting in the way of her selling sauce for high prices. At that time, the majestic metallic chimes, indicating that it was 10, rang out. Surely that chorus marked the change of time and eras. It really does, Mystery Theater and James. Like, it's all about the small group, and then Primavera has moved on to be like this chess master in the background. And it definitely does follow up on themes of the next generation with the Wandering Dogs, who I absolutely love. I hope we see them again. It symbolized both things at the same time.
Yuanhong, will you lend your strength for the sake of me and our countrymen?
What are you saying? I'm an incarnation of the old values of the old era. The grime of the GDS. Is that not so? I am bound, young lord. And I, WangYuanhong, am still the man who swore loyalty to the Council of Elders. Nothing can overturn that loyalty, not even you.
Yes. Even I have never doubted for a moment that you were a deeply loyal man. The lack of virtue that made me unable to gain your trust is my sin. Thank you for what you've done for the GDS until today, Yuanhong.
Farewell, young lord. I leave in your charge the priceless futures of our countrymen.
Wang coughed violently. Oh, he's dying of a disease or something. Hit his chest several times, then set the receiver down. His face was covered with tears and seemed to be flushed red. The man who calculated everything in this world with money wanted to believe he had discovered something in his last moments. Oh my god. His last moments. Yes. Wang already knew his time of death.
You win a bet, little May. As promised, I give you all of my remaining time.
Now, it doesn't look like Meiji poisoned him. I wonder if he poisoned himself. Curses rebound on the one who curses. The secret poison he prepared for Madame Rose's assassination had never entered Rose's glass. It was retrieved by Madame Rose and then passed into Meiju's hand. Oh, Meiju did!
Honored brother, if you already value the future more than the now, which had already become the past by the time you speak of it, then you won't lose your life because of something like a Muscovite poison created by our ancient ancestors. Your concern for your countrymen's future won't be stolen by a mere curse from the past that's grown stale over thousands of years. Come on, people. Take my honored brother to a hospital. His heart seems to be ailing.
Okay, so it just made him sick.
From the young lord, give my honored brother rewards and rest that are fitting for this hard worker who had supported the GTS.
It gradually started getting noisy inside the restaurant. Apparently, they were starting to hear what had happened this night. A stretcher was carried out, and Wang was placed on it. Though Wang's face was twisted in pain, he grinned and sat up. Then he spoke in Japanese.
And I'll see you later, little May. Until our next meeting. I will see you then, honored brother. At my favorite establishment.
It's probably a different poison, Luca.
I would like to introduce you to a special place that I've never shown anyone before. Well, guess I can't be dying then. That's the best sort of medicine. Still hurts.
Wang was carried out. His consciousness was already fading, apparently. From the bottom of his heart, Meiju prayed for the recovery of this man he respected. And it's all over. Time for the epilogue of this chapter. Rose had apparently contacted Richard through the phone. I see. Great. But we don't know what'll happen for a while, so be extremely careful. Yes, thank you. I'm counting on you. She sat down the receiver, then turned to Zell and the others with a smile. However, Zell's roof was pressured by that smile, and their faces tensed for just an instant. Rose was just a bit sad about that, but she accepted it. You're the boss now, Rose. You're intimidating. After all, she was abandoning the now for the future. Good news for you four! Zell's father has safely arrived at Primavera. Oh, thank you very much! Damn, my voice is getting all grogged. Ah, jeez. We did it, Zell! You did safe! Wayne Coon, Richard Coon, and Cyrus Coon will arrive here shortly. When they do, would you mind seeing these four off?
Yes, madam.
Whoa, that's quite a big reception party you got for us. Welcome, Cyrus-san. Your fine suit has quite a delicious aroma about it tonight. Ah, you got me. This smell won't come off. Well done, Rose. I'm glad you're safe.
I've been told that the young lord, Mr. Sanzalong, will be here soon.
Well done to you too, Wayne. Were you nervous? It was all a farce. Why'd I get scared? Now there's Wayne for you. You got guts. Now that's what I call a man. Rose-san, I'll see these people off. Please excuse me for the time being.
Yeah, I'm counting on you. Good work tonight, all of you. I'm sorry for various reasons. I really am sorry. But you've done nothing to apologize for. Rose apologized so seriously that it felt strange. By this time, Zell was beginning to realize something. Why had the Wandering Dog's plan to rescue Zell's father taken place on this night? We probably weren't expected to succeed. The thing they wanted most from us was to start a disturbance in the restaurant, the Millennium. That would then be used as a diversionary tactic, making Wong gather all his troops around the Millennium. That was why at the end Rose had apologized for making use of them and including them in the plan. Damn. Well, that's not too bad. I mean, they could have gotten the key easily after the whole thing and just say they had a contingency. I wouldn't say it like that. I would say like they had a contingency in case they failed. Still, Zell didn't feel too bad about being used. It's not like they were going to be sacrificed. If it had been any other way, they wouldn't have gotten support for their rescue attempt. And more importantly, she thought of Madame Rose, who was determined to live life dirtying herself with a complicated mixture of respect, awe, and possibly pity. It's like so much has happened. I'm totally hyped up even though I'm so tired I could die.
We did it, didn't we?
Yes, we succeeded.
No, we can't let our guards down yet. I won't believe until I see Zell get reunited with her father with my own eyes. Huh. A good attitude. You all did well. I hate to say it, but you must not speak of what you did tonight to anyone.
The one-night feud between Primavera and the GDS would now be settled by the heads of those two organizations. These four would not be given permission to speak about what had happened in the restaurant on this night.
But even so, I guarantee that tonight you fought together in a vital battle that will decide Primavera's future. I'll never let anyone mock you. Not ever again.
Wayne-san!
You're a legend among the wild dogs. You use your bonds with your comrades as a weapon, along with a carefully laid plan to accomplish the impossible. I'm glad, boss. But we aren't wild dogs anymore.
We're wandering dogs! The ultimate four-poison group, led by Zell Saijo! Woo! Everyone.
No. The wandering dogs are disbanded starting tonight. You three will return to the wild dogs.
No!
Zell will leave the city with her father.
No! Oh God. Oh no. The moment they heard those words, Oliver and the others leapt from their seats.
I won't let anyone object to our bonds. Not even you, boss.
Even the assassination attempt on Madame Rose was because of circumstances beyond their control. Zell never personally wanted to kill her.
Isn't it okay to withdraw the punishment by now, boss?
We're so strong because we got a four-person group, including Zell. What are we supposed to do without her?
Don't be so dependent. How long do you intend to rely on Zell for everything?
Wayne-san, you can't say that! You can't!
We'll always be with Zell. Always!
You force us choose between you and Zell, I'll pick Zell, got it? Zell understood us! She understood us losers and fought with us!
Zell's our comrade, our family. If you're trying to tear us apart, I won't hold back. Not even against you.
Everyone, wait. Listen. Zell already understood. She had already been in Primavera's care for a long time. So, now it's time for her to make up for it. Not to return the favor. She had to stop being a burden to them. You all know. Right. My father and I are fugitives, wanted by the Chinese military. For all we know, someone with connection to the GDS might leak information about us to the authorities. If that happens, my father and I could become the spark that starts a new conflict. After I've received so much from Madame Rose, I can't continue to be a burden any longer. The Chinese military learned about Sajo Hotaru and Sajo Yukishi. The GHQ would probably order the City 23 occupying forces to take her into custody. Primavera, the GDS, City 23 and 22, the American and Chinese militaries, had grown to a conflict involving all these groups. Right now, the best way Zal could repay her debt to Primavera was to disappear from City 23 as quickly as possible. By this time, even Oliver and the others realized this car wasn't heading for the music shop. Oh no. So, tonight, the Wandering Dogs will be disbanded. You'll all return to the Wild Dogs and continue to work for Primavera under Vane Sand's leadership. No, that's not quite it. I want you to support Madame Rose for our future.
No!
Even if you don't like it, there's nothing we can do!
I won't accept it either. We're family. So why? Why? We lost our families in the Great Disaster. Why should we have to lose our family again?
Oliver.
Let's all run away with Zell.
Damn, I was thinking that too, Oliver.
All across Japan. We'll take down anyone who tries to chase us.
We've slept in alley trash heaps before. We can survive anywhere in Japan.
That's right. Together, the four of us can get by anywhere in Japan. No, the wild. Everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
It's not like it being separated by death. Zell will hide in a distant country. That's all this is.
No. It truly would be a distant country. Is she going to Australia? A country so distant even time of day and seasons would be different. Oliver and the others could only sit there speechless while wrapped in a stunned weariness. When things cool down, I'll definitely come back to City 23. The three didn't say anything in acknowledgement. Far too many things had happened during this single night, and their minds were blank. Breaking through that silence, Sal spoke in a louder voice than before. So, everyone! Come on! Oliver, Charles, Nina, answer me.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, listen then. Yes, you're all listening closely, right? So, let's make a promise. Promise you'll keep improving your skills and become excellent wolves in the Wild Dogs. And when we're reunited, make sure you surprise me. You've got to do it.
Yes!
Hell yeah!
All right.
The three of them responded enthusiastically. Their faces were all stained with tears, but they were smiling. Hey. Every sitcom has to have an ending, you know. They never last forever. But sometimes, if they really love the characters and their bonds make an impression on people, they will have a reunion special years later. That could even be a whole new series. What do you say? A sequel? Many years in the future.
Yes, Zell.
You betcha!
No problem.
There was no place for Zell and her father in Japan, run by the American and Chinese occupying forces. All they could do was escape to a distant country and live the rest of their lives quietly. Arrangements were already being made for that on this night. They would cross the Pacific, heading for a distant country whose name would be hidden even from her fellow wandering dogs. Zell wasn't even given the time to gather up her things. It wouldn't do to wait until tomorrow. Because of Wang's downfall, the power balance within the GDS had just shifted drastically tonight. On this very night, someone who had been close to Wang might tip off the occupying forces about the Siders. They had to leave Japan before that happened. The car arrived at some storehouse. Several men in a truck were waiting. There was a chance something might happen if they set sail from Tokyo, which was under the direct control of the occupying forces. They were set to set off from a port far into the countryside. Zell's father was there too. Zell dashed up to him with tears in her eyes and leapt into his chest. As Zell ran, the three wandering dogs watched her back with a mixture of happiness and loneliness. They knew that the distance between them and Zell as she ran would never get shorter again. But they sent her off with a blessing and a smile.
These two are honored guests of Madame Rose. Take extremely good care of them. We understand, Wayne-san. Now we settle some of the debt we owe to you.
The men were in the smuggling trade. They've been in charge of the dark side of the coastal port since Caleb's day, and they were currently in dealings with Primavera as well. They would escort the Saijos from here on out. Madame Rose had prepared everything, including fake passports for this day.
Leave the rest to us. We'll head out right away. They've been kept waiting long enough. I'm counting on you. Okay, old guy and little lady. Time to guide you to the special sleeping car. We hear you're honored guests. Can't be too careful. Be prepared for it to be a bit cramped for a while.
The truck's engine started. The men stamped out their cigarette butts, wordlessly signaling that it was time to go.
You're going already?
Far too fast. The time of departure was approaching. If they had any words to leave with each other, now was the only time. And yet no words came out, no! Things happening before their eyes felt like something from a dream, not real at all. The men told Zell and her father to get into the bed of the truck. The bed was packed with furniture. Inside it were several things that could hide people. The father got in first, and then Zell was motioned forward as well. Zell.
We'll always be family, okay? No matter where you go.
Yeah, with the wandering dogs.
Right. Zell, you're the wandering dog's only leader.
Zanir is my final order as leader of the wandering dogs.
Right.
Don't forget to keep things tidy and clean, and take a bath every day. Leave it to us. I'll wipe these guys' backs with a deck brush every night. Fortune comes to people who enjoy every day and keeps things sparkling clean. Remember that, okay?
Yeah, we know.
You told us the secret tricks to raising fortune.
Make sure you put those into practice, okay? No matter what.
Vain son said it too right. People abandoned by fortune die. Repeat it!
People abandoned by fortune die.
People abandoned by fortune die! People abandoned by fortune die! They had reached this day because Zal had brought them fortune. They had survived until this day. As they continued to work hard and maintain their fortune, and surely someday. On that day, the Saijo father and daughter left Tokyo. The next day, a freighter entered the Pacific from Osaka Harbor, heading for a far distant country. And so the legend of Hotarubi, the assassin from China who raced across the darkness of Tokyo's Chinatowns, ended. No one was allowed to speak of the wandering dog's involvement during that night. However, without a doubt, it became a night of legend. Gradually, word that they had accomplished something that impressed even Wayne spread through their fellow wild dogs. However, Oliver and the other two didn't let it get to their heads. All that remained inside their hearts were Zel's words. They wanted to become people who would surprise Zel when they were united. The three believed that when they achieved this, Zel would certainly come back.
Oh, you can bet it!
However, long, empty reality wouldn't be easily changed by a single night's tears. Oh no. Even though Zal had given them such a valiant farewell, saying they'd meet again after the others became spectacular. Ever since that day, the three spent their time absent-mindedly as though exhausted.
Hey, remember that expensive soy sauce at Primavera's? People are saying they crushed their business rival, the GGS, just so they could sell it. Even Madame Rose has gotten greedy. And I was sort of hoping she'd be Japan's savior. Just like the politicians. They talk, but until they actually get power. You're gonna start seeing their woman's true side. You heard about them crushing the labor union, right? Sound like fun time's over.
The Japanese labor union had prioritized Japanese laborers, offering high-wage day labor jobs. A bit earlier, with the message that it had now contributed sufficiently toward raising the standard of living for their countrymen, its dissolution had been announced. A new organization was established with a different name to handle the same business. But to the Japanese city folk, wages were the biggest issue. However, the new union announced its new policy of finding work for as many laborers as possible. It corrected the unfairness of offering high-wage jobs to a limited number of people, declaring that money for labor would distribute fairly and uniformly. It simply meant that the old low wages were back. The Japanese were extremely discouraged, and their spring with regards to Primavera met its end. With wages at their previous low levels, Chinese laborers wouldn't go out of their way to try and enter City 23. The GCS announced to his Chinese brethren that, in exchange for facing retribution for the storehouse burning incident, Primavera had eliminated the Japanese Union. Chinese employers who had their workforce back applauded this and renewed their oaths of loyalty to the new GDS, run by the young lord, Sun Zalong. Then, rumors circulated and reached the ears of the Japanese city folk. In the end, the incident that night was summed up in this way. Madame Rose, trying to make a killing by selling soy sauce, burned up the soy sauce owned by the Chinese merchants, the friends of the people. That got them into trouble with the GDS as a condition for avoiding all-out war. They agreed to eliminate the Japanese labor union. In other words, because of Madame Rose's greed, they started an unnecessary conflict,
and the wages of poor laborers were sacrificed as a result. That was how it was remembered by the people. The elimination of the Union would seem to have been caused by pressure from the GDS. It was a term they had been forced to accept in order to gain Meiju's assistance during the Wang incident. In the end, during that whole soy sauce war, everyone was playing as the GDS's tone.
That young lord guy was always looking for a way to take the GDS back from the Council of Elders.
Council of Elders tried to take a pot shot at Primavera, and they were panicked by the unexpected counterattack.
Then the young lord dashingly appeared, resolved the problem, and eliminated the Council of Elders who had screwed up.
I'm dumb, so I don't really get it, but I sort of get that Primavera was being taken advantage of from the beginning.
Looking back on it, it all went as the GDS planned. They neatly crushed the Japanese labor union, which they've been pushing to eliminate over and over again.
And on top of that, they formed a powerful alliance between forces to City 23's north and west, the GDS and Bashanbong.
The GDS was a formidable foe on its own, but now it's doubled.
Yeah. Now Primavera can't even get into skirmishes with Chinatown. As proof of friendship, Madame Rose and Sons along were entering negotiations for handing over special offers windows, it was said. In other words, the GDS had succeeded in getting both of the demands Wang had made.
It's like Primavera's paying Chinatown protection money and licking their asses.
It's just the same. It's no different from when we walked up to American or Chinese troops and said, "Give me chocolate," or something bah.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
But we did prove one thing. You don't underestimate us. We may stand in awe of you, but we'll make sure you stand in awe of us as well. Bring on the fight. If it's to protect our countrymen, we're prepared to drag you down into hell with us at any time.
That's what we've proved. That's the only thing Primavera gained from that night.
The only thing, huh? It's enough to make you cry. All across the city, people are grumbling about Madame Rose. The feel of the city is gonna change. And to think we've won this victory at the cost of all that. It's enough to make you cry.
Self-determination of peoples. That's the only victory Madame Rose wanted. All we can do now is believe that something's awesome enough to be worth such a big price.
The future of our countrymen. Is it? I'm dumb, so I don't get it at all. Scary, huh? Department of Health or whatever announced that soy sauce is dangerous. Well, that's because all the soy sauce going around now, that fake and furious stuff. Rumor has it that they made it from the hair of dead humans. Wait, seriously? I'm not touching soy sauce again. Only hair was the worst of it. It's supposed to be packed with chemicals and cancer-causing tar. Not like cigarettes. Well, that explains it. I was wondering why you suddenly stopped seeing soy sauce around.
Soy sauce syndrome. The urban legend that ingesting substitute soy sauce would damage your health was spread around as though it were true. Since all cheap, low-quality drinks and food had similar legends at the time, it wasn't as though soy sauce got especially bad treatment. However, thanks to corrupt businessmen plotting to profit off the soy sauce fever, large amounts of particularly low-quality substitute soy sauce were making the rounds. People who ingested it started complaining of various symptoms after meals. Tongue inflammation and paralysis, rashes and fevers, strange headaches and drowsiness. Along with the soy sauce fever, stories about the health effects of substitute soy sauce spread throughout Tokyo in a flash. As a result, the government's Department of Health discovered several dangerous substances in various sorts of low-quality soy sauce. They eventually released an announcement telling people to avoid ingesting it. Practically speaking, it was the announcement not to buy soy sauce. Both America and China want to sell ingredients imported from their own countries. They had no reason to protect pure Japanese ingredients. The soy sauce fever suddenly wilted, and people began to treat soy sauce as a dangerous and unsanitary remnant of a previous era. This was the nation who went around destroying statues of Buddha, which they had revered until the day before during the anti-Buddhist movement. It didn't take them long to turn their backs on soy sauce as well. The Japanese city folk had no way to tell the difference between safe, real soy sauce and dangerous fake soy sauce. Eventually, even real soy sauce stumbled and began to vanish from Japanese culture. Madame Rose had tried to protect soy sauce as the leading member of food culture. Only her countrymen in the future would realize that the time she tried to protect it was the very last chance. At this point in 1948, it was unlikely that anyone realized what she had achieved, what she'd lost. We don't understand now, but in the future we might understand.
You're pretty forward-thinking.
You gotta be, or you'll lose your fortune. I have a proposal.
What?
Let's break up the wandering dogs. Nina stopped walking and spoke. Why? Oliver and Charles stopped too, but they didn't turn around. The wandering dogs was a four-person team with Zell. I see. So if we keep being the wandering dogs, there'll always be something missing. It'll be like a flat tire the whole time until Zell comes back. It looked like Zell understood. She understood what Madame Rose was thinking. In that case, I want us to be able to understand too. Well, we're idiots and we don't understand anything now. Still, for all we know, we will understand when the future comes. When we become those countrymen of the future Madame Rose was talking about, we might understand what she got us.
You think we will? Even us?
We won't know if we'll know until the future. That's why, until the future, when Zell comes back, I want to make sure City 23 is protected.
The future where Zell comes back.
You know, I really do plan to learn Chinese. If I, not just Zell, understood Chinese, it'd be possible for us to pull off much more complicated plans. After all Oliver powered up so much in just a few days when Lee Meiji worked him to the bone, right? If we seriously keep building our strengths, I'll be able to pull off way bigger plans. It's the same for you, Charlesy. If you keep on improving those magic fingers, you'll really be able to shock Zell.
If we get stronger, Zell will be able to think up much more interesting plans.
We want to get more awesome and pull off a legend.
Until the day Zell comes back, we gotta keep training ourselves. No point pretending to be wandering dogs and feeling all down when we don't got Zell around.
We each have to strengthen our own selves. Time to go on training arcs.
So we can't cling to the wandering dogs. There's no time to cling to each other like losers, feeling bad about ourselves.
We aren't losers anymore.
Zell made us wolves.
So now it's time for us to become wolves and go on our own separate journeys. You know, I'm thinking about lodging with a girl who helped me out once long ago. That girl spoke Chinese perfectly. I'll have her work me odd mornings and evenings.
In that case, me too. Maybe I'll sleep in the storehouse Aniki Wayne uses for training. Not because I want to become a man who's good at fighting or anything as trivial as that. I'm going to truly learn hand-to-hand combat. so that I can be useful in Zell's strategies.
If you're doing that, then me too. Earlier, Jamestown of the Rich Bamboo asked if I'd be interested in working for him.
All right, so they're each gonna go undergo their own training. It looks like there might maybe. Thing is, I knew there's not going to be a time skip, or at least too big of a time skip. It's going to be another 1 year, because I know the third arc is 1949.
Now, even I want to hone my talents until they become a real weapon. And when Zell comes back, I'll surprise her no matter what.
Then it's decided. Until the day Zell comes back, the Wandering Dogs are disbanded. Nina punched her fist in the air. The next time we meet, I'll be a high-class oil fluent in Chinese, okay?
Next time we meet, I'll become a man who can do magic with his fingers.
Charles also stuck out his fist, bumping it against Nina's. And Oliver stuck out his fist too, and the three fists knocked together.
And I'll become the strongest man, no matter what.
When we're the strongest, we'll meet the strongest Zell and form the strongest team.
On that day, we'll be the Wandering Dogs again.
Until then, so long, people. We aren't losers anymore.
Don't forget to keep things clean and tidy, okay? Store up that fortune.
People abandoned by fortune die.
The three of them pulled their fists back and slammed them together so hard it made a noise. And at the same time, without any regrets, they turned around and walked down their own paths. Of course, none of them was so effeminate that they turned back. The curtain lowered on the legendary night that was just their own, hidden within the night of the soy sauce war, and the wandering wolves dispersed. Fall 1948. The wolves split in 3 directions, not wandering, but following their respective paths until the end. I really wish they would eventually show what happens when they get back together. Even Oliver's eyes were filled with out-of-character tears. As he tried as hard as he could to hold back his hot eyes, he spoke to himself.
I'll do it. You're gonna be shocked, Zell. I won't let you see me as unreliable again.
Yes! Oh my god! You don't need to say that out loud. I thought they went on their own separate paths.
What the hell are you doing here? Go away, I thought you went that way.
Oh my god, it's too funny. What, are you crying? Guess little Oliver's still a kid.
Shut up. Seriously, go away. The 3 of us went our separate ways, right? You're ruining the moment.
Well, all our stuff's still back at the music shop. Guess we're going in the same direction.
Oh god.
What the hell, man? It's a waste, damn it! That's a perfectly cinematic moment ruined.
Guess we couldn't finish it off.
Nothing's wrong with that. I get the feeling that knowing what's going on but still laughing boosts our fortune.
Crap. Now I just want to eat a ton of Nikuman.
And then there's freaking laughter from the studio audience. And the camera pulls back. Guess we just can't finish it off after all. Let's have a farewell party tonight and go wild!
I shut up about it because I didn't want to ruin the mood, but I'm starving.
Let's go. Here's the final mission of the Wandering Dogs. Find the most delicious Nikuman shop.
Yeah! Oh,
Yeah!
oh my god, that's too funny. I really hope they show them getting back together again.
Pardon me for interrupting a decision.
We just now reached a break. What could it be? One can only hope that it's something good. I understood how unusual it was for someone like Madame Jean to set so much time aside for a mere reporter like me. There's gotta be something special about her.
Every time the story reached a good break, Advisor Udera would come in with some urgent business.
I see. How bothersome. Whatever shall we do? Perhaps it will be faster if that child disappeared.
Madam, you guessed.
Oh no! Please go ahead. I'm not listening. I didn't hear anything. I'm sorry, Julie. It's the usual trouble. It's so regrettable. Primavera, which was tasked with the job of protecting the future of its countrymen, is now a mere violent organization. If the breakwater for the protection of its countrymen became a net strangling its countrymen, that would rather defeat the purpose. Oh, I see. She pretended that she hadn't heard anything, but she did know a little from her fellow reporters. Apparently, even the Primavera family was in a united front. Because the organization had grown too massive, it became quite impossible for Madame Jean's will to extend to its outer edges. Despite a considerable number of its members who understood the goals of Madame Rose had left behind, mistaking the organization for a mere tool of violence. The high-ranking members had already heard rumors of Madame Jean summoning a rider, and were going to create a final message to leave behind. Majesty and good health are two sides of the same coin. When the higher-ups were convinced that the Madame's remaining life was short, their cohesive force would weaken. A fellow reporter who knew a lot about the underworld suspected that a conflict would soon start over the alternation of generations in Primavera. However, Madame Jean's position was apparently very weak. That was because of the extreme old age among the top-level leaders. Madame Jean had united the organization thanks to her excellent leadership and charisma. But that had backfired and led to failure when trying to pass it down to the next generation. Because of that, there was a vast generation gap between her and the young leaders, which got in the way of mutual understanding. It was even rumored that the young leaders were quietly threatening public peace, pushing for a coup d'etat. They probably planned to use that to bring down the massive mafia that had ruled over post-war Japan, to bring it down all in one swoop. Primavera split to pieces, without Madame Jean's control, would be little more than a violent organization. It would have none of the ideals for the future that Madame Rose had imagined. Madame Jean may have foreseen this. Maybe that was why right now she was telling everything, trying to leave Primavera's reason for existence behind in writing. Madame Jean and Advisor Udera had become thoroughly wrapped in their conversation. As I pretended not to hear, a young male guard who had guided me several times before tapped my shoulder. Oh. Hello. Hey. Hey. Wow. Wowzers. Whew. Yeah, I wonder if they're like the Omi Alliance and Yakuza 2 Mystery Theater. Wow. Hey, how are you? Oh god, wowzers.
Hayashibara-sama, allow me to escort you home.
Oh, thank you for your help. Madame Jean, thanks so much for today.
Julie, I really am sorry for asking this of you all the time. There's still a lot I'd like to speak with you about. Do you think you could spare some time in the near future?
Of course. If you call, I'll always come as a business trip.
Then I'll see you later. Thanks for sticking around for my long story again. Next, we finally reach the story of 1949. The story of how Madame Rose's Primavera begins to transform into the Primavera you all know well.
Yes, ma'am. I look forward to hearing about it. It was probably a mistake to say that. Feeling uncomfortable, I reflexively looked at the ground.
Ashibara-sama, let us depart.
Yes! Then if you'll excuse me. Until that point, she'd left by taxi. But this time was different. It was a black luxury car used for Primavera business. The windows were, of course, made with bulletproof glass. It was a courtesy car for executives, built as sturdy as an armored vehicle. I wonder if that's a sign of how close things are to breaking point.
I'll take you to your home. Please have a seat.
Oh no, I couldn't ask you to take me all the way home. I may be interviewing the mafia, but I don't want to let them near the privacy of my own home. That thought sprang up unconsciously inside me and took form as a look of refusal on my face. Oh God! Then suddenly the man grabbed me by the collar.
Get down!
Oh, people are trying to shoot her. I was grabbed by the collar, pulled with extreme force towards him, and pressed to the ground. I was held against the ground and he leaned over me. That moment I heard would sound like a shrill voice.
Damn it! You guys said it'd be definitely pay off. The generic Mook Society lives into the future. Give me back my fucking mummy, damn it.
What's Giamit? Old man in a worn out suit holding a knife ran towards us. Immediately 2 shots rang out. 2 red splashes flew from the old man and he tumbled to the ground. The policeman stationed in front of the residence had fired. It's been dangerous lately. These days they won't even waste tax money by firing warning shots. Damn. Even though Primavera was a publicly known mafia organization, they couldn't start pulling guns out openly in the middle of the street. I finally realized that this young man had put his life on the line to protect me.
Come, Ayashibara-sama. Let us go. The police will handle the rest.
Okay. Even though I've been listening to bloody tales for so long, it's the first time in my life that I've seen the person shot. The car entered a major road and was swallowed up by traffic. Still couldn't believe that the scene I just witnessed had occurred very close to this place. Belatedly, I experienced the fear of having to interview the mafia. That person just now.
They show up now and then. Sad story. Probably has his assets stolen by disreputable people. Means that even Primavera is no longer made up solely of people who understand Madame Rose's noble ideals.
He was probably the sad victim of a disreputable scam. Sometimes people with no options other than to hang themselves tried to raid Primavera's headquarters to fire up one last parting shot.
After all, in this era, anyone can find out where Madame's mansion is by Googling it.
Thanks for what you did back there. He put his life on the line, protected me, and he's super ultra hot. He was prepared to be struck in my place. In that situation, I probably look like a VIP. There's a very good chance the old man chose me to go down with him.
I always put my life on the line for the future of my countrymen, for the goal I must fulfill. That's Primavera's Omerta.
At the very least, this person was still trying to carry on Madame Rose's will. I wonder if he's the descendant of Rose and Leo. Putting aside whether or not her ideals have become reality in this world of 2013. This young man, who must have never seen Madame Rose's face, was carrying on her will. That's all there was. But I'd like to believe that her efforts were rewarded at least a little. You're young, aren't you? How old are you?
Same age as you, Ayashibara-sama.
I was surprised to learn his age. Still, that means it's only been a few years since he became a full adult. Why would a young person like this choose the path of the underworld? Because he's probably related to somebody. What experiences could have led him to that decision? Madame Jean always told me about everything.
so I unconsciously assumed that by asking I would get an answer. After asking, I realized that it was an improper remark and coward, but the man smiled and answered.
I'm a native member.
Yep, thought so.
Ever since I was born, I was raised to do all I could for Primavera.
What do you mean a native member?
Wayne Koda Uedera.
Oh my god, you were right. He's Wayne's grandson. Oh my god. Wow.
He's my grandfather.
Who did Wayne marry? What? And you're the consigliers?
A grandson. And he also raised me like a parent.
She could understand that. He was the grandson of Wayne. Well, he probably understood Madame Rose's ideals best. Looks like Wayne and might get a girlfriend in the next arc.
Forgive me for not introducing myself. I'm Uedera Toratsugu. Calling me Uedera will just make things complicated, so I appreciate if you just call me Toratsugu.
Toratsugu-san.
I've been ordered by the consigliere to provide you protection until you finish interviewing Madame Jean. It's not impossible that someone will misunderstand your interviews and try to harm you. Fear not.
Oh my god, he's just like Wayne. He's even hotter though.
I won't disturb your privacy. I'm quite tactful. Here's my card. Here's my phone number and address. If anything happens, call me no matter the hour.
Well, the car was stopped. At a light, he took his business card out from a card case. At that moment, I realized a familiar card was speaking out at me. Huh? Isn't this one of our staff ID cards?
I've gotten approval from the Hong Kong Daily News.
What do you mean? You want to disturb my privacy? He's totally planning to intrude on my daily life. Yes! So is the newbie who's practically a tea server gonna have a bodyguard following her around the company starting tomorrow?
Oh, but don't worry about me. I'll behave just like a normal employee. I'll play the part of your junior, so everything will be fine.
Oh my god. I am loving this so much. What? That's not what I was worried about at all. What have I gotten myself into, Mom? After interviewing the Mafia, my own daily life is finally getting absorbed into their violent tale.
Oh, do you mind if I turn on some music? Sweet Love is the Omerta. Theme to Cowboy Bebop. Look, Ganriki kicks ass. Not like that M. Zaki.
Oh my god, he totally did this on purpose. And now he's starting to act all friendly and casual too. You can see a holster inside his jacket, what looks like it holds a really heavy gun. My mind was blank by now. Oh, this is totally an Otome's freaking story. This is like a shoujo romance on her end now. It's as though I've been suddenly drawn into the world of a movie. This road, this asphalt, our cars racing down. Until yesterday. I thought it only went to places that could only be seen with the eye, but this asphalt is connected. It's connected to the place where the police just shot a man. It's connected to the tale of Primavera, which began in 1947. All the tales were connected together on the same path. I thought the stories of different distant paths were tales from another dimension, like something from a movie, but I was probably wrong. Will I be able to write down this long, long tale? She may as well write a book at this point. And will I be able to communicate Madame Rose's determination to her countrymen in the future, like she wished for? Just as I was starting to get all solemn, I wish the guy would stop whistling and tapping the steering wheel.
Oh, around that corner, there's the Walmart you always drop by on your way home. Shall we stop by there?
This is incredible.
It's about time for those bento side dishes you love to go off on 5% limited time sale.
Oh my god.
See, I know a lot. Actually, I've been stealthily guarding you for 10 days already.
Police, this man's a stalker! Give me back my privates!
That was fucking awesome. Woo! Okay, you guys. Here is the place to save, right? Here is the this is the place to save. Because I assume when I click next, it's gonna go to the next story arc. Is that it or not? I just want to make sure. Yep, that's it. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining me on these 2 days where I did a bit of extra. I made a triple shot of coffee, especially for this. Okay. That was fucking awesome. Oh yeah, same Mystery Theater. I hate it when they do that. Like they just like get the character who has a kid in the future with some rando in the last episode. I hate it when they do that. That's like just like contempt for your fan base, honestly, when they do that. I really hate that. I really hope that Wayne does get a girlfriend in this arc. In this final arc here. I wonder who it might be. Oh my god, you guys. And I really hope they do eventually show the reunion of the wandering dogs. Because I love them so much. Oh my god. Sunday is Tales. Yep. Next time on Sunday will be Tales of Arise, which has been getting ridiculously good reviews. Which I am so psyched because the Tales series usually doesn't do too well in reviews. It doesn't do horribly, but it's probably the best reviewed entry in the whole freaking series. And I am so fucking psyched for that. So yep, starting Sunday it's going to be Tales and Remember 11 swapping until Remember 11 finishes. And when Remember 11 finishes, we will be doing the final arc of Rose Gun Days. So until then, I will say, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. You are all the sweetest of hearts. See ya.